Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma Watson. I'm 22 years old and currently pregnant. I'm trying to get in focus here. Pregnant with twins. And so for my first video, I wanted to do a question and answer because I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions about how it is being pregnant, especially at such a young age, and then also pregnant with twins. I'm kind of like out of breath, you know, pregnancy props. But the first question that I got is, what's the hardest thing about pregnancy? For me, I think the hardest part about my pregnancy was probably the first trimester. I threw up a lot, like really bad. I probably lost about 15 pounds during like the first trimester from throwing up. I wasn't really able to eat a lot, so I think that was the hardest part. And then after the first trimester was over, the second trimester was beautiful. The third trimester kind of got a little bit harder. My stomach got like extremely big. I have about 10 pounds of baby in me right now, but it's all worth it. I enjoy being pregnant so much. This is actually my last day being pregnant, because tomorrow I have a C-section scheduled, so kind of sad about that. But overall, I think just the throwing up was the hardest part about the pregnancy. I didn't really have a lot of problems with my hormones. I wasn't like out of whack. I wasn't like cussing everyone out or like being dramatic. So overall, I had a really good pregnancy. The second question I got is, how did you determine your healthcare provider? So I just moved down to Atlanta from Boston about a year ago. So I didn't really, when I first found out, I didn't really know who to go to. I like, from driving around, I've seen like Grady around, I've heard about it and seen billboards, so I was like going to go to Grady, but then the father, his mom told me that I should choose Emory. So I've been going to Emory in Midtown. I didn't really know that much about like using a midwife or a doula, so going to the hospital was my first choice. And I think that with having twins, it is important for me to like be around like doctors and be in an actual hospital when I have my babies, because it's kind of like more high risk than just having one. So that's kind of how I determined my healthcare provider. Did you ever imagine having twin boys, and what gender were you hoping for? So I always imagined, well, not always, but for like a couple years now, I've been saying that I wanted twin boys. So what's funny is I was in Boston probably like my sophomore year, and I was at the mall with one of my friends, and this woman came up to her and was like, oh, like I can sense this energy around you, like I can feel like your guardian angel. And so she gave us her card, and we were like, oh, okay, that was like kind of weird, but we're kind of like into spirituality, so we did want to go and get a reading from her. So we put it off for about like 3 weeks, and then one day we were like, okay, like today's the day we're gonna go get our reading. And we like called her number and it was disconnected, like the phone was not in service anymore. But we were just like so determined to get this reading, so we like looked on her card and like looked up her name and the area that she said that she was in. So then we found someone that was like named they had the same name as her, and it was like the same area. So we went to the area and it was like this apartment complex and we couldn't find her. So we ended up giving up and we went to this random Panera and we see the lady there and we're like, oh my god, like we were looking for you all day. And she was like so calm, like, yes, you can come by and get a reading. So when I ended up getting the reading from her, she told me that she saw me having twin boys, and it made sense for me because my mom is a twin and my siblings are also twins. So twins kind of run in my family. So after she said that, I've always been like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna have my twin boys. Obviously I wasn't expecting to have them right now, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't believe that God does things by accident, so I think that this is the perfect time for me to have them, and I'm so excited that they'll be here soon, tomorrow. So yes, I did imagine myself having twin boys, and the gender that I was hoping for was 2 boys. How does it feel to be having twins? It feels very empowering, I would say, to be carrying 2 lives in your stomach at one time and just feeling them grow. I feel a lot stronger than I've ever been. I feel like I have a lot more energy, which is crazy because, you know, they say that you should be like more tired and like feeling more sore during your pregnancy, but I've just like felt my best during my pregnancy. And I don't know, I just feel, I think, yeah, empowered is the best way to describe how I'm feeling right now. What are your self-care practices while pregnant? During my pregnancy, for self-care, I've just been doing a lot more like face masks, but one thing that I've really been trying to make sure that I'm able to do is just make sure that I'm in the best headspace for my children. When your babies are in your stomach, they can feel everything that you feel, so I try to avoid stressful situations. If there's someone that's like trying to have an argument with me, I'll just like let them argue with themselves, because I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm causing a stressful environment for my children. So I think that's it. Face masks and just being stress-free. How is your experience being pregnant, and how do you always look so cute? Thank you. Like I said, my experience being pregnant has probably been the best experience I've ever had in my entire life. I feel so womanly and strong, and like I have superpowers. Like I feel amazing. And I think that I've even like started to get more cute and like developed an even better like sense of style, and like just wanted to get more cute since I've been pregnant, because I've been feeling so good. So I think that's why. And I have 2 sons come, so I just want them to know that their mom was a daddy. What were your initial feelings finding out? So when I first found out, I'm like a really calm person. Like whatever comes at me, I can usually like not allow my emotions to really overtake how I react to things in the moment. So when I found out, I kind of already knew, I guess, but I'm the type of person with my periods, I could go like miss my period for like a month, and it would come like a month and a few days and I'd be fine. And this actually happened to me like right before I got pregnant. I had missed a period, but then it ended up coming like really later. So when I realized that I didn't get my period, it wasn't really like a big shock to me. I was just like, oh, okay, like it will come later, but it didn't. How I found out was I went with the father and his mom out for Mexican, and we were drinking, and I ended up like feeling like woozy, and I threw up, and like she made me take a pregnancy test, and it turned out that I was pregnant. But I was like, okay, like I'm pregnant. There's nothing else I can do. It's like I can either go get an abortion or I can keep it, but I wasn't really stressing it out. So I had thought about it for like a few days, and I was like, okay, you know, right now, this wasn't something that I was expecting, and I'm not sure that I want to be a mother right now, so I was leaning more towards getting an abortion. So I had scheduled the abortion, but I couldn't get an appointment for about 3 weeks. So by the time that I went to go get the abortion, I was probably about 9 weeks pregnant. Hey guys, my camera died, so the angle might be a bit different than it was before. But I think where I had stopped talking was about the abortion. So when you go in to get your abortion, they ask you if you would like to listen to the heartbeat of the baby and also see the ultrasound. So I had told them that yes, I wanted to see the heartbeat and the ultrasound. They made me go into a room and watch like a little video about I was going to do the pill, so it was like about the abortion pill, and then they brought me into a room where I could listen to the heartbeat and view the ultrasound, and they also let the father come in as well. So when I went in to listen to the, well, when I got the ultrasound, the woman was like, okay, there's one baby, and I was like, what? And she's like, oh, there's the other one, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know, I just felt like it was, I didn't want to be pregnant at the time, but the fact that it was twins, it just like reassured me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just knew instantly that like there was no question about it. I wasn't gonna get the abortion anymore. So that's pretty much my initial feelings. Finding out, it took me like, I knew that it was what I wanted to do, but it took me a little bit after to kind of ease into it and like really, you know, get into my head that like gonna be pregnant with twins, be a mom, and I have to tell my family and friends and everything. So yeah, that was my initial reaction. What's one piece of advice that you can give to someone going through their first pregnancy? This is a question that I wanted to tie in a piece about the father of my babies not wanting to be involved. I'll talk about that in this, but one piece of advice that I can give to someone going through their first pregnancy is to make sure that before you like choose to actually go through with your pregnancy, because you have the choice, make sure that you're doing it because you feel like, I wouldn't say that you're ready to do it, because I don't think anyone's ever necessarily ready to do something that they've never done before, but make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Never do it because you're trying to trap a man or anything like that. And I think that's why my pregnancy went so well, even though the father does not want to be involved, is because I didn't choose to be pregnant to try to keep him, which is crazy that people even do that, because usually that's what makes them run away. But I chose to be pregnant because I knew that I was in a position to be able to provide for my children. I knew that I was in I wasn't probably in the best headspace when it actually happened, but I knew that I had the mindset where I could change, you know, my thoughts, and just I would be able to provide them with a positive environment, and that's why I chose to go through with it. So I think that's my best piece of advice, is just to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And then with the whole like baby daddy thing, my best advice for anybody out there who's dealing with going through their pregnancy alone is just to make sure, well, if you're doing it for your kids, then that's the only, you know, that's the main thing about it. Like, you don't have to worry about them. With my situation, he just decided that it wasn't what he wanted to do right now. It's not in his lifestyle. He would rather party and, you know, come home at 3 in the morning. And I kind of felt like I was over that life. And I still like think that I'm definitely gonna like party after, but having these kids has really changed me so much already, and I'm just ready for a huge change like this. But I don't think that I only have to be a mother. I believe that as human beings, like we're once children, and then we become adolescents, adults, and mothers and fathers, but we don't have to give up all of those aspects of ourselves. We can just combine them in a way that's balanced and works for us. So I think just also realizing that you're a separate being from everyone else and no one really owes you anything, that's the best piece of advice that I can give for someone going through their first pregnancy without a partner. Does the thought of giving birth scare you? If I was going to give birth vaginally, I think I would be a lot more scared than I am now. I am going to be doing a C-section tomorrow, so I'm not really scared about that. I don't really have to do anything. They're just going to slice me open and take out my babies. So I'm not really scared about giving birth. And if you guys want me to go into like the reason why I'm doing the C-section, I can do that in a separate video, or I can just tell you guys now. But my pregnancy is a little bit more high risk because my twins are monodi twins, which just means that they're in 2 separate sacs, but they share the same placenta. So they didn't want, like, say baby A comes out first, but they take like kind of long to come out. They don't want baby B to get stressed because they are sharing the same placenta. What's your secret to not getting cankles? I don't really have a secret. I think it's genetics, I guess, but I don't know, I have a really good connection with my body mentally, so we just kind of work together. Maybe that can work for you, I'm not sure, but yeah, I just don't have cankles. Someone said, how did you get pregnant? Pretty sure everyone knows how you get pregnant, so I'm not going to answer that one. Another person said, how can I ensure I get twins? I have twins, like it's in my family. Like I have probably about a good 8 set of twins on both sides of my family, so there was like a pretty big chance that I would get twins. I'm not sure if you can like go to the doctor and have them like do something with the eggs. I really don't know, but I think that you can like maybe have your eggs split if you got pregnant, like not, I I really don't know. You'd have to look it up. I'm sorry. What are your cravings? I didn't really have that much cravings. I think like in the first trimester I really liked this like lentil soup that my friend made. But other than that, I haven't really been craving anything specific. I just noticed that I eat a lot more than I used to, and I'm able to eat like in bigger proportions, whereas before I couldn't at all. How has the pregnancy changed you emotionally? Emotionally, it has made me look at the bigger picture more. I don't really get upset about little things because I have a lot more going on than little petty arguments or like materialistic things. It has made me appreciate life. It has made me reevaluate my life. It has made me reevaluate my relationships with others. I think it's made me more positive. It's made me more confident. Overall, it's just being pregnant has made me a better person, and I'm not even a mother yet. So yeah, I think that is the last question that I have. But if you guys think of anything else that you would like me to answer, I'd be happy to do that in another video. If you'd like me to like go into more detail about anything that you heard me speak about during this video, I'd be happy to share. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. Bye.